please stand for a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Teachers, please take attendance and do a quick dress code check. Thank you.
Girls basketball tryouts will be on Wednesday, November 15th, and Thursday, November 16th, and Friday, November 17th. Please have rides pick you up at door 6 at 4:45 p.m. The first official practice will be on Monday, November 28th. To participate in tryouts, you will need to have a physical, final forms paperwork filled out by a parent and a student in athletic clothes. Please email any questions to Hope Spalding at hspalding@perryschools.org for 8th grade and Sarah Hall at sehall@perryschools.org for 7th grade.
Exciting news! We still have room on our Washington, D.C. trip in March. Extended payment plans are available for this spring break trip. Get a packet of information from Miss Edwards in the library if you are interested in signing up.
It's not too late to join Southport Robotics Team. The robotics team meets every Tuesday and Thursday after school until 5 p.m. at Southport High School. There will be a bus at door 6 to pick middle school students up and take them to the high school immediately after school. For more information, email Mr. Snodgrass at msnodgrass@perryschools.org.
Good morning, Cardinals, and happy Friday. It's been a great week this week. Hopefully everybody was able to purchase some books from the book fair, and everybody's had an awesome week this week. Continue to follow our school-wide expectations. Remember that quarter 2 celebration with no SCRs and 2 or less tardies. You'll be able to celebrate here in just a few weeks as we're wrapping up this quarter. The other big piece is today you're going to watch a video on Veterans Day. So as you guys know, Veterans Day is tomorrow. So today we're going to watch a video and advisory, and there'll be a short convocation for our 8th graders during social studies class as well on Monday. And today and this weekend we honor and all those that have served us and protect us both here at home and overseas. So if you would, if you know any veterans, we have some in the building, and make sure you thank them for their service and for everything they do to keep this country the best that it is and to keep us free. So enjoy the video. Let's have a great Friday, a great weekend. We'll come back ready to roll again next week. Go Cards.
Good morning, Cardinals. Today is Veterans Day, and today we honor those who have fought for our nation's freedom, those who have gone before us, and those who are still with us. So we are going to have a ceremony to honor those veterans. In 1921, an American soldier, his name known but to God, was buried in Arlington National Cemetery. This grave became the symbol of dignity and reverence for America's veterans. Similar ceremonies had occurred in England and France. These memorial ceremonies took place on November 11th. The day became known as Armistice Day because it was on November 11th that the armistice to end World War I was signed. If the dream that World War I was the war to end all wars had been realized, November 11th might still be called Armistice Day. But World War II broke out, followed by many other wars and conflicts. As a way to honor all those who had served our country, President Eisenhower in 1954 signed a bill proclaiming November 11th as Veterans Day. This day is to honor all who have served, and it is time to pay special tribute to those who have paid the supreme sacrifice and given their lives for their country. During this memorial candlelighting ceremony, we will pause to remember all who have paid this sacrifice. The Revolutionary War gave birth to our nation. It began in 1775 with the shot heard round the world when colonial troops clashed with British troops at Lexington. The war lasted 8 years. When it was over, the 13 colonies were one country, the United States of America. I am now lighting the candle representing the 6,800 Americans who were killed during the Revolutionary War. The War of 1812 was fought between the United States and Great Britain from 1812 to 1815. It was during this war that Francis Scott Key wrote our national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner. I am now lighting the candle honoring the 2,260 American soldiers who died in that war. The Mexican War began with an attack on American troops along the southern border of Texas in 1846. It ended in 1847 and resulted in the United States gaining areas that would become Texas, California, Arizona, and New Mexico. I am now lighting the candle honoring the 13,283 Americans who died in the Mexican War. The Civil War was fought between the Union troops of the northern states and the Confederacy of the South because of disagreements over states' rights and slavery. It lasted from 1861 until 1865. More Americans were killed in this war than in any other war before or since. I am lighting the candle representing the 624,511 American soldiers who were killed during the Civil War. The Spanish-American War was fought in 1898 between Spain and the United States. This war was fought mainly because Cuban patriots were demanding independence from Spain. As a result of this war, the United States emerged as an international power. I am now lighting the candle representing the 2,385 soldiers who were killed in this war. World War I started in 1914 when an assassin gunned down Archduke Franz Ferdinand in Austria-Hungary. It involved most of the world's great powers. The United States entered in 1917 and helped the Allies win a victory by 1918. Over 10 million people died in this war to end all wars. I am now lighting the candle in remembrance of the 116,516 American soldiers killed during World War I. World War II began in 1939 when Germany invaded Poland. The United States entered the war after Japan attacked Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941. This was the most costly war in the history of mankind. Over 50 million lives were lost in this war, which was fought in every corner of the world. The war ended in 1945 after 2 atomic bombs were dropped on Japan. I am now lighting the candle that represents the 405,399 American soldiers killed during World War II. The Korean conflict between communist and non-communist forces in Korea began in 1950 and lasted until 1957. The United States came to the aid of South Korea in order to contain communism. I am now lighting the candle that represents the 54,246 Americans who were killed during this conflict. The Vietnam conflict was the longest conflict in which our nation was ever involved. In 1961, the United States began supplying troops to South Vietnam in order to support it in its war against the Communist North. In 1973, a ceasefire agreement that allowed U.S. troops to withdraw was signed, but it solved few problems. I am now lighting the candle that represents the 58,220 Americans who were killed during the Vietnam conflict. In addition to all those we have previously mentioned, Americans have given their lives in the defense of freedom in Beirut, Grenada, Desert Storm, Somalia, Bosnia, Afghanistan, and Iraq. I am now lighting the candle that represents those 171,580 who have been killed in these conflicts and wars. There is one final candle to light. This is the large candle which I am now lighting. This candle represents the 4,763 Americans who died in the September 11th terrorist attacks. May the light of their lives continue to shine as we search for peace in our world.
Make sure you take time to charge your Chromebook when you get home so your Chromebook will be charged and ready for the next school day.